Does privacy even really exist in 2022?
Does it?
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
is it?
How can it? Like, how are you able? And then if you're private, people say that you're secretive. I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm not obligated to share anything about myself with you, and that doesn't mean that I'm secretive. That just means that I'm private. Like, it's part of my life. But I feel like in 2022, people are so used to like everyone sharing everything that when somebody has the boundary of privacy, it's like something is wrong. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, no, that's just.
Heavenly Father, we invite you into this conversation. I pray that you remove any nerves. I pray that you replace it with your peace, your love, your joy. I pray that the words that we're saying, it comes from you, and anything that you do not want us to say, I pray that it does not escape our lips. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 So this is episode 4 of season 2 of the Your Girlfriends podcast. I am your girlfriend, Keith.
I am your girlfriend, Lashawn.
And I don't know, like this okay, so it's just us. Mm-hmm. This is the first time since we started season 2 that it's just been us.
I know.
I'm a little nervous. Like,
it's because it's just us.
It's a different atmosphere.
But it's also like, it's like we taking it back. You know how people been doing them reunion shows as of lately? We taking it back to the reunion.
Okay, this is the original 2.
Yeah, we're going back to the beginning, okay? In the beginning, there was the word, and it's our word, okay?
And that's wild, because I just realized we were working on turtlenecks.
Okay.
You got on white, I got on black. We always match.
All the time. Even when we're not matching, we're matching.
Yeah. How are you doing?
You know, before we even started, I was saying I have had a wonderful week. I have been having a wonderful week. I feel like yesterday when we were talking, I was telling you how I feel like everything is falling into place for me. I feel like, if everybody knows, I lived in Arizona for 3 years. And after coming back home, I realized that Arizona was never supposed to be my home.
Right.
I feel like Arizona was supposed to be an uprootment, because I counted how many times I moved, and I moved 7 times in 3 years in Arizona.
Wow.
He was making sure, he was like, you will not get comfortable.
Yeah.
You will not get comfortable here. Yes, I moved 7 times in 3 years. And I feel like he also appreciated the fact, like, I was like, if you want me to be here, I can learn how to be here. If you want me to be here, I can figure out how to be here. If you want me to be here, I'm surrendering to yours. Like,
right.
But he was reminding me, like, I don't. And I feel like now being home, I feel so much love, so much peace, and I feel like everything is falling together and like coming together for me.
Yeah. So I feel like it is too. From the outside looking in, I'm just gonna let you know, like, your life is coming together. Everything is falling in. I remember you were saying, like, yesterday, like, it feels like it's finally falling into place. But I truly believe the pieces have always been falling. Yes, it's always been this.
And it was a breaking,
and they're still falling together.
Okay, they're gonna continue.
It's just gonna get better and better.
And I received that. Okay, I received that. So how you feeling? How you doing?
I think 2 things come to mind. So I've been low-key feeling a little disconnected from God lately. Like, I feel like I was hearing him so clear, and like he was guiding me so much, and it was just like decisions were easy because I feel like I was hearing him on it. In these last 2 weeks, I feel like I haven't heard him. Like, I literally been feeling disconnected. Like, I've been feeling alone. Okay. And I didn't know why. And yesterday I went to the gym for the first time in 2 weeks. And in the gym, I was telling you yesterday, like, in the gym I listened to like Christian gospel, but like the Drake versions of Christian gospel. And that's what I work out to, because it's just, I don't know, like, God is my strength, like, literally and figuratively. And I was like, okay, so it's a mind, body, soul thing, because after the gym, I don't feel all the way connected, but I don't feel disconnected anymore. Okay. I don't feel disconnected. So I'm like, maybe that's just telling that I do need to go to the gym regularly. Like, I think I'm at the point where if I don't go, then I feel it. Okay.
Do you feel like maybe when you're not doing things that, you know, that
are of God,
or not even of God, but like aren't like who you are now. Like you work out consistently. This is your person. So I feel like do you feel like when you're acting outside of that, you feel a little bit more disconnected from God rather than when you're in it?
I think I'm not sure what it is just yet, but I think it's a focus thing. Because the thing is, like, if I'm working out, that means that I'm waking up at 4 a.m. and I'm at the gym by 5:30.
Okay.
You know, and I'm working out, and then, like, I get out the gym and I go take a shower. Like, I'm just starting my day a certain way if I'm working out. So the fact that I haven't worked out in 2 weeks is just telling that I haven't been focused. I haven't had discipline. I haven't... You know, like, I don't know. And I think that's, I don't know if that's normal or not. Like, I don't like the way that it feels, but I feel like I am human.
Yeah.
Because I also went to LA over this past weekend, and I was listening to some very worldly music, okay? Because I was actually listening to Issa Rae yesterday. So the festival was in LA. It featured a headline, Erykah Badu. Music Soul Child was there. Issa was there.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Smino, like it was an amazing concert. I had an amazing time, and also God put the desire for a man back on me. Like because I was very content, and I traveled with a man who's like a brother to me, and I was just like, I ain't gonna hold you up. That's like the best trip I think I've had in a while. Like I like to travel with a man.
Okay,
I was like,
Okay, God will give you the desires of your heart. If not, He'll take it away. Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to like just be. Like I didn't have to look out for myself. I didn't, it was just nice.
Why do you feel like that desire was taken away though? Like, what do you feel like that reason was?
You're gonna have to talk to God about that.
Hey, Jesus, real quick. Oh, y'all,
we have to talk to God. I mean, I would rather be on this end of the spectrum though. I would rather be content in this season than desperate in this season. So
because look, I'm looking at a camera right now. People be giving desperate.
Listen, you should not make no moves out of desperation. So yeah,
emotions or
that's
desperation.
Okay, I'm trying to get back attuned because it take a lot to wake up early, but clearly it's like some benefit to it.
So what do you feel like? Okay, so you were talking about focus. So what do you feel like you were focusing on, and what do you feel like you're going to stop focusing on, so that you can continue to be connected to God? Hey,
I hate to say this. I've been.
You girl, go ahead and be real for our friends. Let them know.
I've definitely been thinking about sex a lot.
Hey, listen, I just want y'all to know.
Like, not a lot of people know, but I've been practicing abstinence for quite some time now. And I don't know, like, these last couple weeks, I just been like, dang, it's been a minute. And I normally don't speak about that part of my life. But, it's the podcast. Got to be open, got to be honest. And, practicing abstinence is great.
It is awesome.
So
this has been the best time of my life.
Yeah, I think that's been on my mind. I've been, preparing for the festival. I've been listening to a lot of different music. Hey, they ain't talking about nothing but sex on the radio.
Listen, if it ain't
nothing but guns and sex. Like, and that's just what it is. Like, and I think I just been living. I've been
out here living. This world is crazy, ain't it?
But I'm gonna be honest with you, because that be affecting my mood. Like when I hear love songs, when I hear songs about anything, like do you put yourself in it? Are you able to just hear a song?
I be in love, okay? If I listen to my favorite song is Eric Benet, okay? Spend My Life With You.
Oh,
and I be feeling merry. I be feeling real merry when that song, I don't know who I be singing to, but guess what? We're in love, okay? We're in love, and we got kids running around, and we slow dancing in our kitchen. That's where I put, so I understand. So I feel like that goes along with the title, and what we're looking at is boundaries.
Yeah.
So what boundary... Because
it's normally a very private thing for me. I never talk about this, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, even in the song "Go Crazy," like I love Chris Brown, "Go Crazies" or "Sexy Mother." I love it, but when I listen to the words, like, what are they saying?
You talking to me?
Yeah, like it's just what it is, and I'm trying to figure out the balance. Cause I do like, I like that type of music, but I don't. I mean, maybe it's just not. Maybe it's me not listening to it consistently. I don't know just yet, but it's so funny talking about this stuff because I am a very private person, and that's what we're talking about today: privacy,
privacy and boundaries. So
yeah,
what is something? Just to get out there, and I feel like we can talk to our friends too, like what is something that you do not share or will not share? And what's a boundary you've probably placed on friendships or our friendship that, you know, you just be like, I'm not going to share that with her, and that's okay. Or something you will not share with the world, like social media, and that's okay.
Yeah. Like you? Like
you can talk about me or any of your friends, like you don't want to share, like you can place a boundary there for that. You can talk about me though.
Okay, well I'll say this, because I said this to you last season. And we were just talking about this, but I said this to you last season too, because I can't really, I don't have a whole lot of boundaries with you. You are, I tell you all the time, you are a very safe place with me, like for me. Like, so we're pretty boundaryless. But you know, for a second I was like, okay, if I need a moment where I just want it to be about me, I'm not gonna hit up Lashawn, because we go through similar experiences. So of course, once somebody says something that resonates with you, you want to share it so that they know that they're not alone. But it was like I was in a season where I really just wanted to talk about me for a second, but I also didn't know if that was wrong of me, because it's like that sounds kind of selfish. So I didn't say nothing for a while, but I was like, I'm not gonna hit up Lashawn if I gotta get this off my chest. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness, I ain't gonna hold you up. When you told me that, like it triggered me, because my mom does that. And I hate my mom.
I love your mama, by the way.
I love my mom, too. I don't want anybody to think that I don't love my mom, because I love her.
She's an amazing woman.
She birthed somebody like me. Come on.
I'm very thankful.
I'm a blessing. I'm just kidding. Let me stop. But my mom does that. Like, whenever I'm, like, talking to her, and she does that. So when you told me that, I'm like, shit.
Yeah, you your mama's child.
I am my mama's child.
It's not a bad thing, though.
It is, though. It is. It's not a bad thing, but when someone wants to talk about themselves and you are constantly talking about yourself, that is not a good thing. So I appreciated it when you told me, because I immediately started to notice, like, I cannot be doing that. And I appreciate it because it allowed me to grow, too, as a person, because I want to be in it. I feel like I might be doing it right now, but I'm trying.
Hey, am I doing it right? Is this what you be talking about?
But I appreciate that. So
it was. That's why you're a safe place for me, because there's not a lot of times you can tell somebody how you, like, a place, an area of opportunity for them, and they receive it like, I'm so thankful you told me that. So yeah, I'm like kind of nervous. Like, what is the boundary you have with me?
It is only one, literally.
Okay,
it is only one, and it pertains to sometimes, like, if I have a potential partner or a potential person, and this is before I like them, because sometimes and I appreciate, like, what you say, but sometimes you be like, oh no, I remember this specifically when I told you about I had gotten into a relationship. I appreciated it, but she was like, your face was like this. She was like,
oh, this when y'all, oh boy, you were telling me y'all were official.
Yeah, and you were like, I don't know. It was like, and I was like, damn.
So what's the boundary? Like, what is, like, I'm gonna be private about this with Key type of.
Until I know for sure, like, me and this person is, like, moving forward. I mean, because I tell you about, like, men, but if we get in a relationship, I feel like I'm probably not gonna tell anybody until, like, a month and a half later.
And that probably is a good boundary to have with me. I'm not gonna hold you up,
because I know that I can move fast sometimes. But
you been moving fast. I literally was like, Lashawn, please. Like, last time you told me about something, I was like, Lashawn, because I think he asked you, and I was like, Lashawn, please tell me you don't have a boyfriend right now.
I was like, I do.
Because you be moving fast.
I'm glad. I was like, no.
It's a Taurus thing. Once either we love you or we don't.
We
like,
absolutely don't.
But once we decided, it's like, what up? Like, let's get married tomorrow. Like, if you want.
I don't have a ring on my. So I appreciate it, but sometimes I'm like, and then also, like, I don't be knowing my feelings all the time. Like I can when I have a feeling in a moment, I don't understand it until I fully think about it, and then later on I know my feelings. And sometimes if people are asking me questions in the beginning, I would just say anything even though what I'm saying isn't fully true.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's like,
so it's like you feel like you have to have an answer.
I
so
have
kind
to
of make
talk.
Up one.
Yeah, so that's why I also like don't tell people stuff, because I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea if.
But I think that's why boundaries are so important, and it's okay to be private sometimes, because you need a moment to gather your thoughts about it, because they say like the first or your top 5 people are typically a reflection of you and like who you're destined to be like and become. And so like typically those top 5 people, you value their opinion.
Yeah.
So I can be like, hey, yeah, he cool, but X, Y, and Z, yeah, that job sound cool, but X, Y, and Z, you could have loved it before I put in my 2 cents. Like, and because you're not all the way
in there,
opinionated about it, it's like you kind of value my opinion on it. So, and I feel like that's why I like to be private, because God has been really doing some things with me, like in the sense of like the stuff that I'm doing and that I've done within this last year, it low-key don't make sense. And the thing is, like, I just been really trying to be obedient, and if I tell you what I'm doing, I might talk myself out of it. Like, hey, that kind of is, that doesn't make sense. Like, so I feel like before you get other people's opinion, like, really, like seeking God on it first.
Yeah, no, it's something that you want to do. I feel like when I do get into a relationship, only the people that need to know is going to know. Yeah. Like, I feel like
that part.
Me putting him on social media, like, I'm subjected to boys that be like, I thought we were. You thought wrong. Because people be thinking, like, I liked you, and like,
first of all, it's the boys and like that just don't sit well with me. Like, yeah, no.
And then they just be like, oh, so you talking to some. Why do you need to know if I was talking to somebody or not? We're not talking. You didn't say anything to me. Like, I can be very direct in like ways. Like, if a man wants to pursue me, you better let me know, because and I don't even know if I like you. Do I like you? I don't know if I like you.
And not even just like in a romantic sense, but like every accomplishment, like it's almost like, does privacy even really exist in 2022?
Does it?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, how can it? Like, how are you able? And then if you're private, people say that you're secretive. I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm not obligated to share anything about myself with you. And that doesn't mean that I'm secretive. That just means that I'm private. Like, it's part of my life. But I feel like in 2022, people are so used to, like, everyone sharing everything,
social media,
that when somebody has the boundary of privacy, it's like something is wrong. Where it's like, no, that's just
maybe I just don't want to share. And it's like where, like, if I do want to be private about these things, like, why do you feel like you have a say so, or why do you feel like you should know everything about my life? Like, where have you put yourself in my life that I may not feel like you are in my life, that you feel like you should know about my accomplishments? And also, like, you don't know who's preying on your downfall. People can say they're your friend, but secretly want you to fail.
That part.
And you have to be careful with that, especially when you're doing something like us, like God-centered, God-focused. Like, will come in like a thief in the night, okay? They talk about devil. The devil come in like a thief in the night and try to get you, and it's your mind, because like I always say, the devil is defeated, okay? He cannot do anything, but he is a manipulator. He is a master manipulator, and he can only use you against you. And that's why he comes in and he says, like, that's why he uses people, okay? People that are like, they don't know their self well enough. They're like, you think you can do that?
And I don't think it's always out of a place of malice.
No.
Like, people project.
Exactly.
Projection is like I literally just said it, like, while we've been here. I forgot what I said. Like, oh yeah, we were definitely projecting. Yeah. Oh, I said, okay, I remember now. But I think people will be trying to protect you. Like, people will put their limitations on you in the sense of like, and this is like a very extreme case, but I've seen situations where family members have come out, as homosexual, and the thought is like, it's not that I don't want you to be gay, but I don't want you to be put against like that ridicule of the world.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to accept you being gay because I don't want you to have, and that's a very extreme example, but it's like out of protection, but it comes off too as like you're not accepting.
Right, you don't like
but
me.
It's out of, so I don't think people always have malice necessarily, but the result is the same.
Yes, like you, because then you put this thought in your head, like, can I do it? Like, and when you say out of your mouth, can I do it? Like when you start talking to them, you are very sure, like, I'm gonna do this. I'm about to start this business. I'm finna do this. And then the next thing out their mouth is not congratulations, but where are you gonna get the money?
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna get the money? Like, do you have a name? What's your name? And they just start asking all these questions. I'm like, B-word, okay?
Yeah.
I haven't thought about all that yet.
And again, that's and sometimes that's us projecting, because it's like you're asking me questions that I don't know. Now I'm second guessing myself.
And then it's like they want you to be prepared.
I was already second guessing myself, but you confirmed that I need to second guess myself.
Now I don't know if I should do it. So that's why I feel like a boundary should be placed. Like, when should I tell my friends about this business venture? If I know my friends are going to ask me these questions and I don't have them, should I tell them right now?
It's not even just friends. Like,
family.
For me, is anybody that has a connection with me. But I also, and I was thinking about this today, because I actually spoke with her today, one of my favorite cousins. I remember her telling me like a while ago. So like, this cousin is like the cousin that always got it, you know? So people reach out and ask her, you know, hey, let me borrow some, you know what I mean? And I remember her telling me, like, when I was like younger, like maybe 15 or something, like, anybody can borrow money from her, but if they do not pay it back, she takes note of it. So before, where you could have got, you know, $2,000 out of me, like, if you didn't pay it back, or at least tell me that you're not going to be able to pay it when you said you were, it's like, take note. And it's not that you don't loan them money anymore, but maybe it's not
as much.
Like, and so that's how it is with me and like boundaries. Like, typically, I've put you you've been in a situation with me before where I've trusted you with a certain thing, and I've walked away from that situation feeling something that wasn't good. Icky. And it's like, okay, going forward, like, I'm not going to go there with you. And it's not like, the thing about boundaries is they're typically not placed out of a place of like ill will. It's more so to protect a relationship
or protect yourself.
Because I have to honor you. I never want people to change for me. Like, that was what I got out of the last, you know, dating situation that I had, is that you don't want people to change for you. So if I'm going to ask somebody to change, like, it has to be something that I think is going to benefit them, like, well, not just me, but like in their life, like, period. And dang, I forgot my train of thought.
I think you was going somewhere very. You was talking about.
Dang, how did that happen?
It's not about.
See, that's why you shouldn't talk about previous relationships. I'm like, damn.
I have blocked that situation completely out of my mind.
Oh, but yeah, I don't want people to like change for me. So it's just like, I want to honor who you are.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't bring even like the boundary that I had with you. I didn't bring it up until like years after I started knowing.
Damn, years. Lord Jesus.
I didn't bring it up until years after, because it's like, is this like selfish on my part, or is this gonna help like Lashawn throughout like all aspects of life? And I want to honor people. I feel like that's how I truly try to like consciously be a safe place. So I want to honor you, but I also have to honor myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So typically boundaries are not placed because like I just want them there, or I don't like you, or it's there to protect a friendship or a relationship in general. Yeah. And also like to honor you while also honoring myself. And I feel like boundaries are okay. Like, I want people to have boundaries with me. Yeah. Like, especially if you're not going to talk to me about it. Have that boundary, because I don't want to, if you don't like the way that I've said something or that I react in a certain situation, I would appreciate if you not test me any further. Like, don't test me.
Yes. I feel like, honestly, but I feel like with me, like, boundaries is just, everybody don't have access to me like that no more. Like, I remember giving people access like freely and like being an open book and talking to people about certain things and everything. And I feel like that has place me in some type of box with some of my friends sometimes, because I'm an open book and I share so much.
Every time you say friends, I feel like you're talking directly to me.
If I'm talking directly to me, I say Key, yeah, just a tad. But
you can just say it if you got something to say to me.
I am, and I will. I'll just. But and it's just not even you. I feel like my friends across like all like aspects of my life, like my friends in high school, my friends in college, my friends after college, my friends now professional, like because I'm an open book and I tell people everything. Yeah. Like I will just share. I don't care. And I feel like I was placed in a box with everybody, but then everybody knew so many things about me. So it's like they knew how to hurt me. Ooh. They knew exactly what to say to hurt me. They knew exactly what to do to hurt me. So anytime somebody was feeling some type of way about me, they knew exactly what to do to get under my skin.
Interesting.
And I feel like now I have placed boundaries on people because I'm tired of being hurt. Like I'm tired of people being, when I say I have a pure heart, I love people just because I don't want anything from you.
Just
okay. I love you. Just okay. That's when I listen to Anita, that's me. Like I love you just because you are you. And I every time somebody is themselves, like authenticity themselves, and they don't care, I appreciate that so much because people are really out here pretending to be other people. But I also needed to realize like that doesn't work for me to not have boundaries, and because everyone doesn't appreciate somebody with a heart like mine. Right. Because in previous relationship, I have been taken advantage of because people know like Lashawn's going to
switch when you said that.
Okay, listen, I didn't got crazy. Lashawn is going to help you. Lashawn is going to be there for you. Lashawn is going to pick you up when you're down. Like Lashawn is. But then nobody was like in my previous relationship. He wasn't pouring back into my cup. Like I was giving him everything. Like all that I had. Like it was a we thing with me. Like if you're doing good, then we'll do good. Mm-hmm. But he was different. It was like if I do good, if she's doing good, I'm doing good. Yeah. Like that. So after my last relationship, I realized I needed boundaries because I was not protecting myself. And then God kind of showed me like you don't respect yourself enough to place boundaries on people.
And then it becomes a resentful thing too.
Yeah, like now I resent you because I didn't place boundaries. You know, I resent you because of something. I'm super responsible now. Like I have become super responsible. I don't give people the will to like mess with my emotions like that anymore. Like because now I've placed boundaries, but it's also because I am now responsible. So if I give you something, I'm giving you, like if I'm with someone and I give them my heart, like I give them the chance to hurt me, but I'm willing to take that chance type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I want that person to show me who they are first. You know, I want you to show me your heart first.
And it's a season for everything. Like we were just kind of talking about offline, like just because a boundary is in place in one season doesn't mean that can't change.
Yeah, or it's always going to be like that.
Yeah, like people grow, people evolve. Like maybe we'll get to a space where I can trust you again, or
maybe I'll try this again and see what
you
do.
Like because I also feel like it's a power to not be afraid to get hurt. And I never even thought about like now that you say it, like some boundaries are a response of trauma a little bit.
Hey.
And I hate that. But at the same time, it's kind of like that's probably also like a best case scenario.
Yeah, because I don't want to get to a point where I hurt so much that I'm completely emotionless.
Right.
I don't want to get to a point where I just don't want to love again.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like right now, like you said, just like I can place a boundary on people, I can place a boundary with myself and then remove it too.
So were you always, or were you ever private, or was it like you went from open book to private, or boundaries, having boundaries?
I went from open book to having boundaries to being private. Because I feel like in placing boundaries, it taught me, it showed me how beautiful being private was. Like just having stuff, like just not sharing stuff, like, and to be able to understand my own feelings and to be able to give people, like if somebody did ask me a question, to be able to give them an honest answer.
In a confident one.
Yeah, in a confident one, because now I place boundaries on what I would share and who I would share with. And now when I do want to share with you, I understand my emotions super, like fully, to give you a confident and authentic answer instead of giving you something that I feel like you want.
Yeah.
And private, because just like Issa Rae.
Man, I love the way she did.
Baby girl popped out.
Her wedding.
I
And to this day, she's still like, yeah, it was dope. Me and my homegirl showed up the same day, and they all had on the same dress. Like, that's crazy. I love that.
But when I saw it, I literally thought she was just in a magazine. Like, I just thought it was a magazine cover. That's I thought it was something for
Insecure.
Listen, I was just like, yeah, she getting married. Like, I still didn't think. And then I literally had to read different blogs to be like, oh, shit. She has been on talk shows and literally has still not confirmed. Like, as of very recently, I heard an interview with her in the Breakfast Club where actually she confirmed it, I think. Yeah, like, and it's still like, so it's like, I love that even as a celebrity, like, you feel like you can still keep your privacy and everyone does need to know everything about your life, and you feel like you can keep stuff from people, and even your friends keep stuff from people. Like, nobody knew.
And it's an energy thing, because I truly feel like, I remember getting quiet last year. I remember feeling like I was supposed to get really quiet, and I still feel like that to a certain extent. But I think when you talk about things that you're passionate about, it's like you release some of that energy. And it's like, imagine how it would be if you like stored that energy and put it towards like actually like doing what you're talking about.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Like, it really is like an energy shift thing, but it's, you also open up yourself for like opinions. Like, I'm still tripping on the fact that somebody like really wrote us like a little hateful comment.
Yeah, we got our first piece of hate mail. Okay, clearly because we're women, we don't hear from God.
I love that you're taking such a stance on it, because I ain't gonna hold you up. My feelings was like, damn, like what? Okay, let's add some context. So. Maybe like a week and a half ago, we posted a video where it was just like, it was me and Lashawn, and I was like, God is good. Lashawn said something to the point of like, if I don't know nothing else. And somebody, you know what, let me read it. I want to get this right.
First of all, we made it because he hates us.
And we don't even know if it's a he.
Whoever.
But it sounds real manful.
They hate us. And you know what? Good. Because if everybody loved you, is God really in it?
What this person said, this Nepa Abba 11.
Who?
Nepa Abba 11 apparently
hates us.
It is a nonprofit organization, black nonprofit conservative organization representing Black America's interests.
Now you know that's probably
okay, and this group, this organization said, God want y'all to get a man. God speaks to women through their husbands. So if you have no husband, God ain't dealing with you.
Listen, God don't hear me, okay? Because I am a woman.
Now, mind you, this got 194 likes at this point. It's been seen by over 4,000 people, and it was one person that said something hateful, and I'm just like zoned in on that one hateful comment, right?
And I'm excited.
But at the same time, it's like we put that out there trying to spread love, because it's not often you see on your, feed Black women praising God like in their natural, looks. And I had no idea that anybody I never even thought twice like somebody's gonna hate this. I never thought twice about it. But when you put yourself out there, you open yourself up for people's opinions, their thoughts. So it's like, I'm not mad about it, but it's like that's what happens. Like, when you put yourself out there, you take a risk.
You are taking a risk with this person. And if I can say anything to whoever, just know that I know that God does hear me, okay? Not because people just do, like we were talking about, people are so literal with God. Like, people really think that he's a man. Like, I can't believe that, because we call him Father, but God is you know what? I still don't know what he is, but I know that I believe in him. But it's like we call him because that's always what has been told to us. But if we read the Bible, he's a being. He does not have a sex.
I think that people. I'm sorry. I don't know why I wanted to jump in there so quickly.
Go ahead,
I feel like I almost was cutting you off.
It's
that
okay.
is my apologies.
I
got amped up just
now.
now.
You know what?
Now let me jump in here.
Let me tell you.
But I do feel like people don't be really reading the Bible, because one, if you read the Bible, you will understand that not everything in it is literal. Jesus literally talked in parables, and Jesus is the Son of God. He is God, right? I also feel like the only reason that we call God a him and a father is because one, he somewhat impregnated Mary, right? So Jesus had a mother, so he was the father. Or I think that's why we use he, father, him, father pronouns, like when we're discussing God, because he fathered Jesus, right?
He's a thing.
I'm also only on like the 4th chapter of the Bible, so it might have been him fathering something else before then, but that's like the earliest recognition that I know of him like being a father in this him pronoun. But it's just a lot of things that say to me that this so-called black organization is not really black. For one, we were just talking about this, okay? Everybody knows that when you say God is good,
we say all the time.
All the time. So the fact that they didn't understand to say that and they didn't respond with that, to me,
he said that God don't listen to me.
It's just weird. And then you like a fake Christian because, like I said, you understand that just like, so somebody reached out to me and was like, I'm about to only start bathing with water because in Leviticus, like they only talk about bathing with water, like, and that made them clean. And I had to explain to them, like, in Leviticus, when God is talking about clean versus unclean, he's not talking about hygiene necessarily. He's talking about what could be received in his presence, right? So the fact that I've been feeling disconnected from God, I have to think about what have I been doing that might not be received in his presence. Now, granted, this is the Old Testament. Yeah. So, we also have to take that into account. But yeah, we opened ourselves up for that. Like,
and that's also when boundaries come into play. It's like, what do I want to share on social media that I want to subject myself to people's opinions, and what do I not want to share on social media so I don't have to hear people's opinions.
Be saying anything.
They just be on there saying, and then be behind fake profiles because they don't want to get got. So,
you know what?
Hey, fake person.
Let's just have a little kiki moment because I really enjoyed that last episode.
Yeah.
So, again, Lashawn and I have been trying to think about little segments that we can have because we typically just kind of have a flow of conversation. We don't talk about a lot of things happening in this world, which is a great thing. But, we are still living in this world. And we have thoughts and comments. So, last night, I'm going to try to get the story right. Last night, 50 Cent wrote something about the game that was not kind. And the game, in turn, I think he's a real life thug. Like, I don't think he's just fronting. Like, I think he's really about that life. So in return, you can't go shoot nobody. You know what I'm saying? So in return, what he did was he, made a post that was also not that kind. And in the post, he mentioned 50 Cent's current girlfriend. And I think for any man, like, once a man challenges your woman, it's a different level of disrespect because now you have to also protect her. Like, a different element comes in. And what the game posted was a DM from 50 Cent's current girlfriend, Cuban Link or something like that. Something Cuban. But he posted her reaching out to him and asking to be a video girl. And the picture is pretty much a naked picture of her. Is covering her tatas, but you can kind of still see some things. And he was like, "Get your girl out my DMs. Like, if you that guy, get your girl out my DMs then." And it was just one of those moments where it's like, see, this is why I'm private, because things are private. You have to be choosy with people because things are private
until they're not.
Until they're not. Until the person you were being private with decides to make it public.
Yeah. Like, people got that petty bone in them, as you can see. People got a petty bone in them, and if you send something, they might put it out there.
I mean, she was very graceful about it.
Yeah. I mean, and it was years ago, bro. Like, it was years ago.
But you was still in his DMs kind of like begging for opportunity. It's still not a good look because it kind of just make it seem like you was just out here like looking for any type of rapper you could, and you just so happened to snag 50 Cent. But on the other coin of that was almost a decade ago.
Yeah,
and people grow, people evolve.
I feel like the fact that he had to go and
dig up that picture.
Dig it up.
First off, you kept that. You kept that as MO.
But it's like also like, how long did it take you to find it?
I feel like he knew where it was. I feel like he knew where it was. He was like, I'm going to save this.
First of all,
for the right moment.
He pinned it, and he was like, you know what?
He couldn't wait to use it, actually.
He couldn't. He had that motherfucker in the chamber.
In the holster.
In the chamber, okay?
In the chamber, okay.
He was letting that boy rip. So it's like it's okay to have boundaries. It's also to share. Sometimes with these TikToks, the stuff that y'all be sharing on them TikToks,
oh my gosh,
be real triggering. Okay?
I'm like, do you need help?
Y'all be dancing to traumatic experiences. Okay? I saw a TikTok of a lady talking about, And I feel like it is liberating to know, like, after a miscarriage, you can have a child afterwards. But when you're dancing to it and you're like,
it getting a little weird. It's like almost crying on social media.
you over here doing like a little wave.
I can't even laugh at this.
It's not funny, but it's like my brain doesn't really know what to do because I feel for you, but at the same time, I'm trying not to laugh because it's like you're telling me this traumatic experience that you're happy about, but at the same time you're doing like.
And then, like, it was...
it's too much for me.
It was a trend going on, like, a couple months ago where it was, like... I don't know how it goes exactly, but it was something like, I can be red, I can be yellow, I can be blue, I can be anything that you would like, da-da. So people were, like, doing the beat with their hands, but, like, the words were traumatic AF. It was, like, one guy, I'll never forget this. I always thought he was such a happy guy. Mm-hmm. And he was, like, basically saying, like, how he got molested by his stepfather, like, at the age of 5 or something like that. And it's just like, this is not a trend. This is like,
are you okay? Like, what is it? Like, what? And it's like, what do we do with that information too? Like, when we know this about you, like, should we reach out? And sometimes I feel bad for not reaching out, but it's like, do I even have the space to have the conversation?
But that's the thing, though. Like, I think that's why it's so abnormal and people don't perceive privacy well, because we're living in a time where everybody is open about everything.
It's like liberating to like.
It's liberating to a certain extent. Like, I really think you have to think about your why. Like, why are you posting it?
Yeah,
is it to free other people, or is it to free you? Is it because this is what's trending right now and you have to catch the wave? Like,
yeah, like
what's your why? Because I can also see how that can get pretty icky.
Yeah. And then now he's subjecting himself to like people and their opinions and what they're saying, and it's like, is this actually going to help you or like put you back in a place where that you just came out of? Like, am I ready to share this part of myself? Because we do, like, God do want us to tell our testimony to people.
Yeah.
But are you ready? Think about yourself. Like, where are you in your life where, like, are you ready to share? Because like us, we put out God is good, but if we weren't where we are in God's like kingdom, or we know that we are God's
according
children,
to this person,
okay,
we ain't even in the kingdom.
Right.
We trying to get in.
He said no.
I think it was y'all need a man. First of all, okay.
How do you even know?
I ain't even cursing, but sometimes it's slip out. But it's like, first off, I know that.
But how do you know I don't have one?
Don't you think if I could,
do I reek of singleness to you, mister? But it was like, but if we didn't,
that was just real weird.
If we weren't where we were in God's kingdom, we could have been subjected to that opinion. It's like, dang, have I been listening to God? Does God actually talk to me? Like, do I actually need a man to talk to God or to speak to God? So it's like, you have to really know where you are in your walk, where you are in your life, to be able to be subjected to opinions of people. So,
okay, we kind of talked about like how privacy can be the move, but there's always two sides to a coin. What is a way that privacy can become toxic? Like toxic privacy in a sense.
It's like when you don't share nothing. Like you're this silent, like, what is it called? Like a silent killer? I don't know. Just like you're not sharing nothing.
It's giving killer to you.
It's like
it's giving serial killer. Is that what you're saying?
Or it's giving like you're depressed, but you're putting on a facade that you're not. You know, or you feel like it's like you are just so private that you are scared to tell people anything about yourself, and now you're silently walking through life by yourself alone. When you feel like you have no one to talk to. I feel like that's when privacy gets a little bit toxic, because I know that everybody is in a safe place. Like, you can't tell everybody everything, because people really feel, especially, and I feel like this is more so with younger kids, like in middle school and high school, because I always hear, I was a teacher for a little bit, and I always hear people be like, these kids don't be going through this stuff. Like, you don't have no real problems. Like, no, they don't have to pay bills right now. But the problems that they have are real problems. And they're coming to you trying to talk to you about it. And you're literally just throwing it off because you got to pay rent tomorrow. Like, they don't have those types of issues. And I also saw like,
and then that kid grows up as an adult that
don't share.
I mean, it wasn't that extreme, but
and I saw this TikTok
I can relate,
where this woman was like spraying water on her son. And he continuously told her to stop. He continuously said, like, stop, mommy, you're getting me really wet. You're getting me really wet.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And then he was like, do you know what you're doing? Like, he's continuously sharing with her, like, this is a problem for me.
I know exactly what
on
you're
and
talking
on
about.
Throughout the video, he slowly but surely began to get quiet. And then he just stopped talking. Like, she's going to continue to do it anyway. And that is when, like, as a parent, I'm going to be a parent one day, and I feel like as parents, we need to realize, like, what we are sharing and showing our kids. Like, we want to teach our children consent, but not when it's with us.
Right.
You know? So that's where, you know, toxic privacy comes into play. Like, this child that feels like he didn't have a voice when he was younger turns into a teenager that don't feel like they have a voice, turns into a person in high school that feels like they don't have a voice, turns into an adult that feels like they don't have a voice, and then now they're just shut off and cut off, and they feel like they don't have anybody at all. And that's when privacy can be a little
I agree with that.
toxic.
And it's so interesting to me. I actually just came to this revelation not too long ago, but most of the time our traumas that we hold on to, that we're trying so hard to, you know, escape and to grow out of, happened when we were a child. It's so interesting to me that, and I'm part of the problem. I mean, I don't have kids, but I don't know if I've taken every child's concern as serious as I should have, or valued their opinion as I should have. But it's like, even though it's like the biggest age group where you have all these traumas, we feel like for some reasons kids aren't always valid in their concern, in their opinion. Oh my goodness. And granted, sometimes it is just foolishness because they ain't been on this earth that long.
I'm not giving you no Cheeto.
We're not going to McDonald's. We have food at the house.
Okay, we don't have.
Now don't ask me again.
We don't have McDonald's money. But listen.
Okay, like I love when I see people that's like, I've been trying this gentle parenting.
Listen,
I've been trying this gentle because I swear in my mind like I'm gonna be a gentle parent, but. You know, to a certain extent, though, we do have to validate kids and their opinion and show them. Just like I told you, like, the other day when y'all were on me about touching my hair, like, it was low-key not triggering, but it's like I had to reaffirm myself, like, it's okay if I don't want them to touch my hair. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know, because, again, like, as a child, right, and not saying this is me, but for my kids, and I feel like my mom was really good at this, actually. Like, if they don't want to go over your house, not you, but I'm just saying in general.
Damn.
If they don't want to go somewhere, I'm not making them. If they don't want to give you a hug, guess who ain't getting no hug today?
You.
Like, kids need to be able to understand that, like, they don't have to be in spaces that don't feel safe. They don't have to do things that necessarily they don't want to do within reason. Yeah. Like, you're going to eat this damn broccoli.
Listen, you gonna man, I had a trick when I was younger, when I didn't want to eat anything. I would put everything in a napkin.
Oh,
my mom
that was a trick?
My mom had 5 kids, so we didn't eat off the plates all the time. So I would then fold it in my paper plate. And then I would take my little self to the trash can, and I will slip my folded napkin stuffed paper plate in the side of the trash can, and I was just But then my mama caught wind and was like, "Let me check your plate." Like, dang girl,
you smart.
You are smart. You are an observant lady.
Man, parents be 2 steps ahead.
But then when she started checking my plate, I started to chew some of the food, spit it out, and I will just leave it in a napkin. And then I would show her my plate. So she thought she had me, but she didn't.
Okay,
I'm a very sneaky child.
But you know what? I babysat. I used to be the family babysitter, and I remember one family in our family that I babysat, whose kids I babysat. I remember them not being able to leave the table until they had finished their food, and then babysitting another family's, a sub family within my family's children. And the kids getting full and them saying, don't force yourself to eat. And like, that's like, and having a conversation like that's discipline when you have food in front of you and can decide that you're full and
like,
not
I'm done.
And I was like, wow, like that's
crazy. Y'all can get up.
It like one of our friends always brings up the fact that I made her eat all. I was like, girl, you asked for all of this food. You're gonna eat all.
First of all,
my mom don't let us throw away food.
My mom wouldn't even let us get anything to drink.
So that food
until she said my mom used to put 5 cups in the middle of the table because when we were kids, me and my brothers used to eat at the table dinner all the time. And my mom used to put 5 cups in the middle of the table. If you are not done with your food, you will not be drinking anything. So if you had a dry ass biscuit, you better save that biscuit for last.
I'm cracking up. Okay,
because you're not drinking none of that Kool-Aid until this food done, okay? You asked.
But also, she probably was taught that. I feel like my mom was like proportion person. Like we always could go back for seconds. Like I feel like I need seconds now. Like I always put enough so that I can go back for seconds.
My mom would ask, like, you gonna finish it? Like, damn, no, I don't know. But do I want to sit at this table for 20 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, both points are valid, but again, like, what type of kid are you raising? You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, what type of adult are you?
Listen, I'm going to be I feel like I am creating myself as a balanced person. I am very stern, but at the same time, I am very okay with, like, understanding your emotions. I feel like you have to be stern with kids because some people just allow their kids to just grow up, and I'm not doing that. No. It's in reason with me because I was a kindergarten teacher. Like, and I feel like a lot of it, when people came into my classroom, they were like, you have really good classroom management skills. And then you will go into another classroom and those kids would be throwing stuff and all over the place. But my kids still loved me because they understood. I used to say this all the time. There is a time and a place. Right now is not the time. We are doing work. I'm an understanding, but I also explain. Like, I'm not going to be that parent that won't explain to you why you cannot do something or won't explain to you why I want you to do something. Mm-hmm. Like, I want you to do this because you can't throw this chair because you might hit someone. Yeah. You can't yell right now because
is bad.
Yes.
You have to tell your child that?
No. Girl.
That's quiet.
The very first time. I
don't have kids.
Listen, you have to tell a child everything, but I feel like they love me because they knew why they were doing the things or they weren't doing the things.
I mean, kids, I think at the end of the day, like, you know, being an adult now, you kind of see like the results of different parenting styles. I remember my one friend like had all the freedom in the world, and as an adult, you know, she kind of resented her parents for that because she felt like they didn't care. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't care where I was. You didn't care what I was doing. And if you had been there, you know, given more structure, there would have been certain mistakes I didn't have to make. Yeah. So I do feel like kids crave structure, and you should give that to them. But I think you also have to give enough space where, you know, another friend, I remember asking her, like, how did she know what she wanted to do? Because we had both graduated with our supply chain degrees, and, like, she immediately went into fashion because she knew that she wanted to buy materials to make clothes. Mm-hmm. And she moved to Atlanta, visit her. She had an amazing apartment, doing well at a great school, a great design school. And I just, like, how did you know, like, this was what you wanted your next step to be? And I'll never forget, she was like, well, all my life, all I had to do was focus on what I wanted. Like, her mother was able to create a space for her to, like, not be in survival mode. Mm. You know what I mean? And now, like, she understands, like, who she is a little bit quicker than I did. Not saying that I was always in survival mode, you know, but, hey, I knew what was going on. Like, I was very wise, you know, as a child. But it's just interesting being an adult now and kind of seeing the results of different parenting styles. But I think to kind of wrap this up, where I'm at is I give people the opportunity to, because obviously we want people to live up to a certain expectations. If it was my choice, I would feel completely safe about every single thing with every single person that I love. But that's not reality. No. So I try my best to give people the opportunity you know, to be a safe place in different realms. And if I have a experience that does not feel good to me going forward, I just try to avoid those types of conversations because I feel like I have to honor you and know that that's who you are in this season. But I also have to honor myself and understand that I don't feel good when I talk to you about this. Yep. And the boundary is not there because of any ill intent. It's to protect the relationship. And I got boundaries with everybody. Different boundaries with everybody.
Different strokes.
To wrap up, where are you at? Like, what does it look like for you?
It's all on need to know basis. If you need to know, if I want you to know, you will. If I don't want you to know, if you don't need to know, you won't. And that's it.
My business is on a need to know basis. Coin it.
Okay. Business on need to know. Okay, that's why Instagram made close friends.
That part. You know I don't use it like I should. Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay, so this was episode 4. Last episode, season finale.
Next week.
Next week. This has been fun. I'm happy we said 5 and out. And that's just for this season.
Yeah.
We'll see what season 3 talking about.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. I love that.